The creature's roar shattered the silence of the command center. The ground trembled as massive claws scraped against the reinforced metal floor, leaving deep gouges in their wake. General Vex Thor's 4 eyes gleamed with anticipation as he watched his prized weapon emerge from the shadows. Around the circular chamber, dozens of alien soldiers stood at attention, their various appendages and tentacles quivering with barely contained excitement. The human didn't flinch. In fact, he yawned. "Oh, that? It's just a cute puppy," he said, stretching casually. The command center fell silent except for the low, rumbling growl echoing through the vast space. General Vex Thor's towering form, 9 feet of scaled muscle and razor-sharp armor plating, loomed over the lone human who sat, slouched in what was supposed to be an interrogation chair. The alien general's mandibles clicked in irritation as he studied the peculiar creature before him. Captain Jake Morrison, former Earth Marine turned reluctant galactic prisoner, examined his fingernails with the same interest most people reserved for watching paint dry. He'd been captured 3 days ago during what the aliens called a reconnaissance mission and what he called really bad timing. Now, surrounded by enough firepower to level a small moon, he found himself oddly relaxed. "Human," General Vex Thor's voice boomed through the chamber's acoustic amplifiers, each word dripping with centuries of military authority. "You stand accused of infiltrating our most secure facility, stealing classified data, and somehow," his voice cracked slightly, "reprogramming our automated defense systems to play what you call elevator music." Jake shrugged. "In my defense, your security was terrible. And that music really improved the ambience." The alien soldiers shifted nervously. In their experience, captured enemies usually begged for mercy by now. This human seemed more bored than terrified. "Silence." Vex Thor's tail lashed behind him, a sure sign of rising fury. "You will learn respect, Deathworlder. Guards, bring in the beast." A collective gasp rippled through the assembled soldiers. Even the most battle-hardened among them took involuntary steps backward. The beast was legend, a creature so terrifying that merely speaking its name was considered an act of courage. It had never been defeated in combat, never shown mercy, never failed to reduce its opponents to quivering masses of fear. Heavy blast doors groaned open at the far end of the chamber. The lights dimmed automatically as something massive moved in the darkness beyond. Each footstep echoed like thunder, and the very air seemed to vibrate with menace. "Behold," Vex Thor spread his arms wide, his voice filled with dark pride, "the most feared predator in 12 star systems. The apex devastator of Kepler 438b. The—" "Oh wow," Jake interrupted, leaning forward with genuine interest. "You guys have a dog." The general's elaborate introduction died in his throat. What? A dog? Well, technically more like a really big puppy." Jake stood up, his restraints having been removed hours ago when it became clear he wasn't planning to escape. "Look at those ears. And that tail? Is it friendly?" The beast emerged fully into the light, and Jake had to admit it was impressive. Standing 12 feet at the shoulder, covered in midnight black fur with streaks of electric blue, sporting 6 legs, for glowing red eyes, and teeth that could probably punch through starship hull plating. Its muscular frame rippled with barely contained power, and its breath misted in the cool air like dragon smoke. "The beast has never been defeated," Vex Thor proclaimed, trying to regain control of the situation. "It has torn apart entire assault teams. Its jaws can crush titanium. Its claws can it play fetch?" Jake asked hopefully. The alien soldiers exchanged bewildered glances. Several began whispering among themselves in languages that sounded like kitchen appliances having heated arguments. The beast padded closer, its massive head tilting as it studied the small human. Up close, Jake could see intelligence in those glowing eyes, not the mindless fury he'd expected, but something almost curious. "Easy there, big guy," Jake said softly, extending his hand palm up. "You're just misunderstood, aren't you?" "What are you doing?" Vex Thor shrieked. "It will tear your arm off." "Nah," Jake replied confidently. "I've got a good feeling about this one. You see, General, I come from a planet where literally everything tries to kill you. Poisonous spiders, venomous snakes, plants that can dissolve skin, weather that changes its mind every 5 minutes, and don't get me started on drop bears. You think I'm scared of a pet?" The beast sniffed Jake's outstretched hand, its nostrils flaring. For a moment that stretched into eternity, predator and human regarded each other. Then, impossibly, the creature's tail began to wag. Not a small, tentative wag, but a full-body, furniture-destroying, joy-filled wag that sent several nearby aliens diving for cover. "Good boy." Jake scratched behind one of the beast's massive ears, earning what could only be described as a contented rumble. "Who's a good cosmic death machine?" "You are." Yes, you are. The beast rolled over, exposing its belly in a display that would have been adorable if it hadn't involved a creature capable of bench-pressing a hover tank. General Vex Thor's mandibles hung open in shock. This is impossible. The beast has never shown affection to anyone. It was engineered to be the perfect killing machine. Yeah, well, Jake said, now fully engaged in giving the galaxy's most feared predator a belly rub. Sometimes the simplest solution is the right one. You guys overcomplicated everything. It's just lonely. The beast made a sound that was part purr, part earthquake. But the fear, the terror, the psychological warfare. Vex Thor sputtered. Look, General, Jake said, standing up and brushing alien dog hair off his uniform, I get it. You wanted to intimidate me with your big scary monster. But here's the thing about humans, we domesticated wolves into chihuahuas. We turned apex predators into animals that fit in purses. You brought a monster to a staring contest. Bad move. The beast had now completely flipped over and was making what Jake could only assume were happy noises while pawing at the air. Several alien soldiers were taking pictures with their communication devices. The galaxy's full of mysteries, Jake continued, but sometimes the most terrifying thing in the universe just wants someone to throw a ball for it. General Vex Thor looked around his command center where his elite soldiers were now cooing over his ultimate weapon like it was a therapy animal. His reputation as the most feared military commander in the sector was evaporating faster than water on Mercury. Guards, he said weakly, escort the human to the guest quarters. Guest quarters? Jake raised an eyebrow. We may have misjudged your species' capabilities, Vex Thor admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. As Jake walked toward the exit, the beast bounded after him like a cosmic golden retriever. Hey, General, he called back, what's his name, anyway? Designation, Apex Predator Unit 7. Jake shook his head. That's terrible. I'm calling him Buster. The newly christened Buster woofed in approval, a sound that rattled the viewport windows and made half the bridge crew duck for cover. Oh, and General? Jake paused at the door. Next time you want to intimidate a human, maybe try something actually scary. Like a tax audit or a family reunion. As the human and his new best friend disappeared down the corridor, General Vex Thor slumped into his command chair, wondering how a routine prisoner interrogation had turned into an impromptu pet adoption ceremony. In the distance, he could hear Jake's voice echoing through the ship's corridors. Who wants to play fetch with a photon torpedo? You do. Yes, you do. The general made a mental note to update his files on human psychology. Clearly, his intelligence division had missed something important. Outside the command center, Jake grinned as Buster trotted beside him, tail still wagging. Come on, boy, he said, let's see what other monsters they've got on this ship. I bet they're all just big softies deep down. The beast, now Buster, barked once in agreement, a sound that would have terrified armies but now just sounded like enthusiasm. After all, every good dog deserved a good human, even in the depths of space.